Ed Dinkun threw down the gauntlet. Mara Spencer answered the challenge, shattering the top time and her rear axle. 3 down, 1 to go. The Stock Tough Trucks are locked and loaded. Weekend Warriors primed for the final showdown. Monster Power coming at you from the Bloomsburg Fairgrounds in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, getting ready to catch you up on some of the action that went on besides the monster trucks and the modified tough trucks. We had stock tough trucks and a few other things this weekend. We're going to catch you up on the stock tough trucks in just a moment. Mara Spencer leading the field coming into this Sunday afternoon event. Standing by with her in the pits right now is Tim Howard.
Holy cow, we're over here with Mara Spencer, driver of the Big, Bad, and Ugly, who's sitting in first place right now after an amazing run last night. Mara, you did everything right on that track last night. You took your jumps beautiful, you took your corners beautiful. Not too sure how you did on that finish line jump, that little bonsai you did that snapped that wheel completely off, broke the axle. Mara stayed up all night putting this truck back together so she could be out there again today. Not really, the guys all pitched in. Yeah. But Mara, man, congratulations. What do you got to say about that run? It was like flawless.
I didn't even really realize that it was that good of a run. When I got done and my tire was off, the first thing in my head was, I hope it was a good run. So at least it was worth breaking my truck.
It was. I mean, it really was an outstanding run. I know you want to thank a bunch of guys for getting this thing back together tonight, who really stood out last night and took care of this thing for you while you were celebrating that amazing. I mean, you got him by a couple seconds there.
Yeah.
I mean, you really did.
I wasn't really celebrating, but I definitely want to thank my Uncle Jake, the guys, Mike, Kyle came over and did some welding, Junior, he helped us out find a part, so that way we had to drive. My boyfriend, he went out and got the part and helped pay for it to bring it in, so that way we had it fixed. And just like the family and the support here, the guys just do everything for me. I wouldn't be here without them.
Yeah, but you're a good driver, and I know why they do put up the time and effort that they do, because you're worth it. Your boyfriend was amazing last night on stage. Oh my gosh, we watched you do the run together, and all of a sudden, he's like, we both looked at each other, it's a good run, and then the tire went one direction, the truck went the other one, but you know what, I knew it was a minor fix, and that there's enough, shall we say, pieces and parts around here to put it back together. Yeah. We really want to congratulate you, and we hope you do awesome today, and we can come visit you on the podium.
I'm going to try. I'm going to go out there and try to just do a good time without breaking anything and hold my spot. Okay. Stand first.
I know all the ladies out there, definitely representing them well. So big shout out to you for that.
Thank you.
All right. Nick, that's about all I got, man. Back to you.
Thank you, Tim. Mara Spencer trying to hang on to that number 1 spot, but she has a full field of stock competitors coming after her in the Big, Bad, and Ugly. Can the Bronco hang on? The final stock session of the weekend starts next.
This Back Channel Productions program is presented in part by Monsters Monthly. For up-to-date show and ticket info, articles, event breakdowns, and a wide selection of photo and video galleries, visit monstersmonthly.com.
The 2019 Lucas Oil 4-Wheel Jamboree Series coming at you right here on Monster Power, continuing Our coverage of the Tough Trucks Challenge, the stock class, Mara Spencer after session number 3 sits on top, followed very closely by Mike Andrus, and then you see Ed Dinkuhn, Ed, who threw down the challenge to Mara, and she answered, as you saw at the top of the show. Then the wild man, Doug Paust and Adam Brobst. Any one of those 5 could come out of this weekend in the number 1 spot. So could the guy across the track from Mike Andrus, though he had some trouble in session number 2. That's Brandon Barnes in the Killer Clown Jeep Cherokee Sport. He takes on the big beat-up Grand Cherokee of Mike Andrus, and there is a reason that truck looks the way it does. Hopefully you'll get a taste of that right here in the first pairing of session number 4. Pretty even start. Notice the Killer Clown dropping back. He'll have to make a tighter inside corner here. Andrus keeping up that speed. It just launches it, jumping onto the infield. Let's see how they do through the tunnel and then the loop.
Navigate the tire coming back around.
Andrus with an awesome turn out there. Brandon Barnes looking as good as he has all weekend. He is moving fast back there right now. Mike Andrus looks like he'll be first onto the front stretch, but Barnes will probably be right there with him. They're starting to get close here. A lot more momentum, though, for Mr. Big Bucks. It looks like he'll make it to the finish line first. He will. Great pair of runs for those two. Solid start to session number 4. Look at the time of 48:16. Mike Andrus taking the lead back. Remember, he jumped into position number 1 after session number 2. Here, answers the call. Jumps back into the number 1 spot. Here in the final session this weekend. Watch this launch onto the infield. That is one tough Cherokee. Brandon Barnes, though, not doing too bad there in the Killer Clown. Now, Lindsey Brobst taking on Doug Paust. We'll see Adam Brobst a little bit later in the field. This is Lindsey Brobst in her truck. 74 Ford taking on another big, bad Grand Cherokee Solo Cup, Doug Paust. Should be seeing here in a second why we've been calling him the Wild Man all weekend. Real nice turn onto the infield there, and a problem for Lindsey Brobst, and she just completely missed that jump. Be interested to see if she gets a DQ on that. I'm not sure. She took a while to make the corner, so they may not DQ her. She didn't gain anything by that. But we'll see. Doug Paust making a hard charge, but he's not overdriving the course. This should be a good time. Let's see what Paust lays down. Big leap at the end for the Solo Cup. Here comes Lindsey Brobst. Over on the nose, as those 74 Fords are wont to do. Doug Paust, a 49.60. I'll put him in 5th place, so he'll go out of this weekend in pretty good standing. He should be able to maintain that. It was a nice, smooth run. Love the way he just dances his truck over these jumps, and then watch this big top-end launch off the final jump. That has been his signature, as those big leaps over the finish line. Up next, Moses Spade with a single. He had been facing off with Louis Bonavenia in the last leg throughout this weekend. That truck was completely destroyed last night on a wild finish line launch. Moses looking pretty good right here, and just send it. Another one of these Grand Cherokees. Looks about bone stock, doesn't it? Pretty good run going right now. He may need to speed it up a little, but he goes nice and wide around that tire, so he can keep that momentum up. He can really swing the ass end of that truck around and get it back here onto the infield. Really smooth transition, by the way, right there onto the front strip here. He's off to the side. Watch that launch. And there he goes. Had to collect it there a bit. A 51 flat. That's not too bad.
And there's a reason why they call that truck just sitting. How about
sitting on a 50-15 for his top time, so he didn't even need that 51.5. Probably was looking to do a little better, but gave the crowd something to cheer about there as he came across the finish line in wild fashion. Don't go anywhere. More wild action is coming up here on Monster Power.
This Back Channel Productions program is presented in part by Crush This. For an inside look at the world of monster trucks, check out Crush This, available on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube.
At the beginning,
The movers and shakers of the Stock Tough Truck class have gathered in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. This is the final session of a 4-session weekend. Bill Hess in the buck-and-a-half Bronco. He has been looking awesome this weekend. Really launched that truck here last night. Laid down a pretty good run at a 53.06, not as fast as he wanted to be. His best time so far this weekend is a 52.87. He would like to improve that before he goes out of here, and he is not afraid to put that right foot down. He takes on the black Jeep of Michael Miller, who is currently sitting on a fast time of 56.72. He DQ'd last night. He had been taking on Wayne Poe in Sheep. Wayne Poe broke down in that truck. He's out of here for the weekend. So Miller matched up with Bill Hess. Bill Hess was matched up with Dylan Chikaya in Blue Balls. That truck was damaged last night in the wild showing. If you want to see any of that action, check it out on our last edition of Monster Power. Now, coming down the final stretch, there's that big top-end charge for Bill Hess, and he just flies out the back end. Something coming off the truck there at the end. In a 51.29, he improves the time. Not going to be good enough for number one, but it was fast, and that is the grill laying there on the front stretch. We're going to get another look at that. Watch Bill Hess. Over on the nose, but he never lets out of it, getting a little bit sideways. I think they're trying to keep it out of the wall here in the near lane. That's why they're launching off to the right-hand side, and the grill couldn't take it anymore. It just pops loose and lands on the gravel. Up next, another wild runner in this game. That is Rachel Faust in Pretty Penny, taking on Jimbo Snyder and Barney, and there goes the door again on Pretty Penny. That thing keeps popping open, the passenger side door. She's making a hard charge, but you got to hand it to her. As rough a time as she had in Lima, Ohio, ended up driving literally into a hole on the right-hand side of that track. She's running very consistent here this weekend. Hasn't been the fastest, but has been very entertaining to watch and very quick. She's up by the guardrail. I think she may have made contact there. And we are hearing there may be a penalty on the Pretty Penny machine. We'll wait and see. She's still making a good run here, but it appears there might have been a problem somewhere down the track. We'll see. And she comes on back. Pretty Penny. Rachel Faust making that big charge out the end. Nice nosedive there on the finish. Here comes Jimbo Snyder and Barney. That truck was a little bit faster earlier in the weekend. You see right there, Pretty Penny, Rachel Faust at DQ in that session number 4 pass. But we got to get another look at that top end charge. I love watching these guys come over the finish line. These guys and gals, I should say.
Here we go.
Those Grand Cherokees are just taking a beating here this weekend. And look who's already coming down the track. A little late to the game we were. Mara Spencer already onto the infield trying to make her charge to knock Mike Andrus out of the number 1 spot and keep Ed Dinkoon off her back door. Mara Spencer making an awesome run right now against Robert Barnes and Cookie Patrol.
The big, bad, and ugly. Mara Spencer, ladies, you're going to want to make a lot of noise for her because she could get herself back in first with this run. Here she comes.
Mara looking good. maybe a little bobble right there, but I think she was trying to stay consistent in the turn. This should be a good run, though. A nice charge coming down. Big leap across the finish line. She's in trouble. Collects it right there. She'll go into second at 48.78 for Mara Spencer. Out of Vestal, New York. Watch that big leap on the end, and she saved it beautifully. That thing wanted to go over. Watch. Bounces hard on the left-hand side, and now she's having to collect it to get the left-hand side of the truck back down. The right rear wanting to dig in. You have to wonder if the damage she did yesterday, that they did a good job repairing it, but there is a little patchwork back there. Just good enough to get it through inspection, really. She got through tech. The truck was safe to drive, but you have to wonder if maybe there was some suspension damage back there that they missed, or something that was causing the truck to land a little bit sideways. But she laid down a good run. Here is Ed Dinkoon in mean green. Big Magnum powered Dodge Ram. He's going for the #1 spot. He had it after session 1. It was taken away from him. It's been passed around now 3 times this weekend. Mike Andrews took it back at the top of this session, and Mr. Big Bucks and Ed is trying to get his #1 spot before he leaves Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. David Slacky having some problems back there in half a Hemi. Still trying to make his charge. Little bobble there for Dinkoon, but the time is looking good. Across the finish line, he got it back. 47 for Ed Dinkoon in the mean green Dodge Ram. That has got to feel good for Mr. Dinkoon. Mean green back on top. Will it hold? There's still more to come. Stay with us.
At the beginning,
Back in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania with the Stock Tough Trucks Challenge, the multicolored GMC here nearest the grandstands. That is Harold Schaefer in the Bronco Buster. He takes on Chelsea Hinkle in C-Note. There's been 2 very consistent vehicles throughout this weekend. The times have been kind of up and down for C-Note, but both of them seem to have this track down. They may just need to add a little bit of speed. These runs they're making. Harold Schaefer in the Bronco Buster, that vehicle definitely has it in it to get to the #1 spot. He may just need to put that right foot down a little bit more in the straights. He has handled these corners and these kind of backstretch jumps over here very well. We'll see what he's able to finish the weekend with right now. I don't know that he's in the ballpark, but he is making a nice run. Slowed down maybe just a little bit too much to get anything out of that, but he is making a smooth shot down the front stretch. Nice leap right there for the Bronco Buster. A 52.34 will not take the top spot, but don't take anything away from Harold Schaefer. That was a solid run for that big GMC. Watch this finish line leap. Probably the best one he's made all weekend long. Look at that. Perfect landing, too, right down the face of the ramp. A little bit out of shape, but no harm, no foul. Our final pairing of the weekend. Adam Brobst in his truck.
Last 2 stock, and then we're going to the mod final Conti.
Another 74 Ford taking on Mousetrap, Brandon Miller. Truck out of the Faust Racing Camp there, the blue, and he's sitting on the starting line. Adam Brobst just driving away in his truck. Little problem right there. I don't know what happened. If he got on the brakes or maybe he missed a shift or something, but the truck, the front end seemed like it locked up on it a little bit right there. So we'll see. Big wide turn. Look at him slinging the back end of that truck around that tire in a big cloud of dust.
His truck making some good time, Adam Probus.
Coming back onto the front stretch for his final charge across the finish line. Where will his truck finish? Over on the nose. Big leap there. Nice landing for him. He'll end up in 6th, 50.97. Not too bad. Mousetrap made up a lot of ground very quickly considering how far back he got left on the starting line. They've been having trouble with that truck throughout the weekend, but that will wrap up our stock class, and here is a look. Ed Dinkoon, Mr. Ed in mean green on top of the field of 47.47. He is the only guy into the 47s this weekend, but Mike Andrus almost got there, and Mr. Big Bucks 48.16. His top time to round off the weekend, and Mara Spencer laying down an awesome one here today and yesterday. Can't count her out at all. After a rough start, she ends up in the top 3. And look at that, Brandon Barnes, Killer Clown, he had a rough weekend. Ends up in 4th, and Doug Powell, well-deserved finish in Solo Cup. After 4 sessions, that is your top 5. We told you there were a couple other things going on here today. The consolation round in the modified Tough Trucks class. These are the guys who did not make the eliminator bracket, but they did make some solid qualifying runs. The favorite in this one is already out front, Brett Sponenberg taking on Seamus Conway. Conway has had serious mechanical troubles all weekend long, and keep in mind, his brother Tim ended up on his roof hard, qualifying session number 1 in the Border Patrol Ford. So Seamus and the Conway family having a bit of a rough weekend, but they did make it to the finals in the consolation round. Seamus took out John Koss in the first pairing of the consolation round, and then went on to face the fastest of the 3 trucks who ended up here. Brett Sponenberg, who's got a good run going, maybe the kind of run he needed in the qualifying session here in Beer Money. A little bit out of shape right there, and a big launch across the finish line. He would win that consolation race over Seamus Conway. Can't take anything away from him, though. He fought through this entire weekend, ran all 3 days here in Bloomsburg, and it has been an awesome one. We have a lot more action still to go, though. Monster trucks, modified tough trucks, and some mud bog action still to come from here in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania with the 2019 Lucas Oil 4-Wheel Jamboree Series. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Monster Power. We will see you next time.